Hey everyone, a few things I want to say real quick. I apologize if my blinking is a little weird in this video. My eyes are kind of dried out. I've been staring at this computer screen like crazy for the past 3 days, studying for the ACT, which I take in 2 days, going to Barcelona to go take that. So I apologize if that's annoying or something like that. Today's video, oh wait, on top of that, it's April 12th, Thursday. It's 8:18 p.m. I've studied for about two and a half hours more or less at this point. So I wanted to take a small break, enjoy myself a nice Coca-Cola Light for that sweet energy burst, and then continue hitting the books. Not going to school tomorrow. I'm gonna wake up early. Hopefully go to bed early tonight so I can wake up early tomorrow, get some good studying, and make use of the time away from school because my host mother said that I could stop. Okay, so today's video topic is coming from a YouTube question that I got in an inbox. Ironically enough, it's from a YouTube account named Noah Abroad, which is ironic because, my name's Noah and everything. He says, going abroad questions. Hello, Richard Stein67. I've seen many of your videos, which are extremely helpful, and I have a few questions about going abroad with the Rotary Youth Exchange Program. I've applied to the program already for next year, my senior year of high school. I am planning on going to a Western European country similar to you, although I know my exchange will not be identical to your exchange by any means. I have wanted to go abroad for quite some time, and I have had many friends go abroad. My school is heavily connected to Rotary. That's great. Rotary is fantastic. I love the Rotary people. Well, at least most of them. The higher up level ones sometimes kind of get on my nerves, but I probably shouldn't be saying that here. I won't mention names. Everyone I know who has gone abroad has come back more mature, and they all suggested I take the risk and do an exchange year. Now for the questions. So I'm going to answer the questions first, and then I'll throw in anything else I want to add on to the end after that. I'm sorry, Noah, that this is a little late. This is actually Actually, this isn't that late. You just asked me. What'd you ask me? Wow. Okay, you only asked me like 11 days ago, which is, I never log into that YouTube account, so I kind of feel bad that I'm this late. I did see the message fairly early though. Okay, question number one. What are the good and bad parts about your exchange? Okay, well, we're going to do that question last because that's a lot. Was it worth for you to go abroad? Well, my exchange isn't over yet. So I don't want to necessarily say that it was totally worth it because I think it'd be jumping the gun or something. But I've already told pretty much everyone here and a lot of people back in the U.S. that this was the best decision that I've ever made in my entire life, and it was the best decision my parents could have made to let me come here. There's some things that I wish I could fix a little bit of my exchange. I guess that has to do with question number one. But I'm completely 100% positive that it was worth it. I'm gonna go back with knowledge that nobody in my school is gonna have. I'm the only one who's going for my school. I'm the only one who's left for my school in like 20 years or something. I'm gonna go back with knowledge that they can't teach in schools. That people can't learn from a teacher. I'm going back with world knowledge. I'm going back with something that you can only learn by going somewhere else. And being as young as I am, I think I'm learning a lot of other things too, like things that if you go when you're older, you're not necessarily going to learn. So to answer question number two, was it worth for you to go abroad? Completely 100%, and I haven't even finished yet. Does the drop in grades negatively affect entrance into college? This is an interesting question. I am not 100% sure about the answer to this. It really depends on what you plan on doing when you return. Now, there are some students whose grades aren't dropping negatively because they've been working their asses off. They've been working their asses off since they got here. Yeah, I'm just going to say it because it fits. They've been working their asses off since they got here, and their grades are actually great. My grades are normal. My grades are here. Let me read you my grades. I actually just finished the second trimester about two weeks ago. Okay, so I take Catalan, Castellano, which is Spanish. I take English. I take philosophy. I take modern science to the contemporary world, physical education, that's PE, chemistry, technology, industrial technology, math, and physics. Okay, so the first two trimesters, I have not had a grade in Catalan or Castellano. Both of those classes, their level is too high for me. I think during the third trimester, this one, the final one, they might give me an exam, like a mini, like one that's more my level, so that I could try to have some sort of note to go back to the U.S. with. Although, if I were to go back to that, that would count as a what's the name for it? Shoot, I can't remember the name for it. They're the classes that you don't have to take. They're not the required classes. They're elective credits. Okay, so those would be elective credits in the U.S. So not really hugely important for me. English, I'm passing with fine grade. That's because I'm from the United States. I do English as my language, and their level of English isn't as good here. So, modern sciences, I finished with an 8 out of 10 the first trimester, and then I finished with an 8 out of 10 the second trimester. By the way, 5 out of 10 is passing. Here, kind of the grading scale is a lot different. So when I pass that, I'll go back to the U.S. with an elective credit, I suppose. I'm not sure if that'll count as... Maybe will count as a science credit. I don't know. Or maybe they won't count it at all. The physical education isn't important, even though I am passing that class. Chemistry, I'm currently failing. I failed the first and second trimester by a little bit. But for me, in my special case, that's not important because I passed chemistry last year, my sophomore year at my high school. So that doesn't really make a difference for me. It's okay if I fail that class because I've already got the credit. Technology, I'm currently passing. That will go down as elective credit, no doubt. Mathematics, I'm currently passing, and physics, I'm currently passing. So for me, the two classes that I look at myself and I say I need to pass are math and physics because those are classes that are going to give me credits that aren't elective credits. That I will get a math credit for this math, and I'll get a physics credit or I'll get a science credit for that. And those are credits that are really important at my school in the U.S. and are generally important at every school because science credits and math credits are standard. Those are the ones that the colleges look at when you take your ACT, SAT. It would be nice if I could pass technology, and it would also be nice if I could pass philosophy. I didn't mention philosophy because I don't really know what's going on there right now. Don't even know if I'm going to finish with a note or not. I really don't know. Okay, so what I want to say is that I don't think the drop in grades. I don't think you should worry about the drop in grades exactly as much as you should worry about finishing high school with your credits, with your necessary credits, because you need to talk to your school about whether or not your credits are going to count for your upcoming exchange year. What they're going to do if you pass, if you don't pass. Maybe you don't pass enough classes, you don't have enough credits to graduate. If you plan on technically graduating from your high school back in the U.S. or not, if you're gonna redo senior year again when you get back, these are all things that you need to look at. I wouldn't worry about the negative effect because the idea, the idea that you're going to a different country. I see actually you remessaged me. Hold on, let's take this moment to read the new message. I replied to you and I said, I'm going to make your video. I'm sorry it's a little late. You said, it's not too late at all. I would rather have you enjoy your exchange than answer my questions. Oh, you're too kind. I am definitely going abroad next year, and I just got my country, Italy. So, to continue, hold on. I am very excited but also extremely nervous. I got this Italian language program, which has been very helpful, but I'm no near anywhere fluent. I can basically order food and greet people. I hope your exchange is going well. Yes, my exchange is going great. Thank you for asking. Or thank you for wondering. Okay, so you're beginning taking your classes in Italian, which is not necessarily an easy language. It's really similar to Catalan. So I know what you're talking about, like difficulty. It's not a very easy language. In general, you're taking courses in a language that you don't know when you go there. So I'm pretty sure that colleges are going to recognize that you took courses in a language that you don't understand, or necessarily maybe like half the year. Maybe you understand it near the end, but that you typically really don't understand most of the year. So that shouldn't worry you about college. You should be fine. Just make sure that you get enough visiting done. You're going senior year, so you're gonna have to do something. You're gonna have to make your decision. You're gonna have your ACT grades, all that stuff. How do I convince a concerned parent to take this experience into consideration? Well, you told me that you've already officially become a member, so I don't really feel like this is necessary to ask. But what I would say is that what I would say to them if you're still trying to, help your parents feel a little bit more, willing to go into this thing, is that you're not only going to be learning school things, you're not only going to be, living your own life, but you're going to be learning a lot of things that people aren't going to learn until they're 40. You're going to be learning a lot of things that some people might not ever learn. You're gonna learn things that you're not gonna learn in the classroom. You're gonna learn things that you're not ever gonna learn in the United States. So that, I think, is enough to make your parents feel okay with this. That it is a 100% amazing learning experience. No matter if you look at it school wise or mentally, or like learning about yourself or learning about anything. Do you have any advice for me as it relates to determining whether going abroad is right for me? Well, you have already decided to go abroad, so I have no advice whatsoever because you've already made your decision. Except that, it's just I mean, the only advice that I can say is that learn as much of your language before you get there. I made the mistake of not really doing that, but I was kind of in an odd situation anyway. Even if I learned a lot of Spanish, I would still kind of be pretty much where I am now. Uh, maybe a little bit better if I had learned some Spanish before I came here, because that would make learning Catalan easier. But you know, thank you so much, and I hope you're enjoying your exchange, Noah. Okay, so let's go back to question number one. What are the good and bad parts about your exchange? Well, the good parts are too many to list. I mean, I have great friends. I'm learning things in school. I'm learning things that I'd never know before. My family is awesome. I feel like I'm part of the family here. I'm learning about myself. I'm learning about tons of things. I love the culture. I love the way of life. I love the parties. I love just living here. I love all this stuff. I mean, I love a lot more things than I dislike. In fact, the things that I do dislike are really are really small. Like, one of the things that I dislike is the fact that I have to go to school in the afternoon from 3 to 5. That's kind of a bummer. The other thing that I really dislike is that when it gets hot again, when it starts getting really hot, is there's gonna be lots of bugs. I always had to deal with tons of flies. That was the thing that got me. That's just one thing that I do not like at all about my exchange, the freaking flies. Um, I mean, like, I could list tons of the things that I like about my exchange off the top of my head, but if I wanted to think about the things I don't like, it's it takes a lot of thought. So I think that indicates a lot. I think that indicates enough that I can't talk. Indicates enough that there's a lot more good things than bad things. Oh, here's one. Well, okay, you're here for like 10 months. More or less, every student is in their country for about 10 months. And 10 months is like enough time to get in and to feel like part of the people. Well, maybe not necessarily. It depends on the people that you hang out with, because some people are a little less accepting. But like, I really feel like I'm part of my friends. I feel like, I've been with my friends for a long time, and I have. I've been with them for 6 months. And it's great, but now, like, at the beginning of my exchange, it was thinking, like, holy cow, it's so long until I get home. You reach a point in your exchange when you're like, oh my god, it's coming up so fast. Like, I have to go home. And that's a really bad feeling. It's a really sick feeling. I mean, I realize I gotta go home to Hamilton, Ohio, and I want to go home. I want to see my friends again. I want to finish high school at Baden, where I've been for my first 2 years. I want to do all that. Sorry, I just got a Facebook message or something. I don't know. I want to do all that, but I don't want to leave here because this has become my home. Like, the idea of going back to the U.S. seems like an exchange now. I mean, maybe not like full on like it did this to come here, but the idea is strange. The idea is very strange. So that's definitely a bad part, and every day it comes up in my mind now, like, oh my gosh, I go home July 29th, 2012, freaking out about it. There's so much that I want to do before I get here, but I know I'll have the summer to do all that. So that's the one big bad thing, is that eventually you will hate the fact that you are going home. Doesn't matter who you are. I mean, I'm on a Rotary page. I'll have to invite you. You'll have to send me your Facebook name. I'm on a Rotary page where there's like 4,000 of us, and it's a page called Your Rotary Exchange Student When, dot, 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 and then you're supposed to finish the sentence. And one of them is that, like, when you dread going home, and that's like, and, it gets like thousands, or it's hundreds and hundreds of likes because people all feel the same way about it. Me gustas, or whatever the heck you want to call it. It gets lots of those because, everyone feels the same. It's an unfortunate thing. Okay, so this video has been pretty long, and I hope I answered all your questions really, really well. I guess we'll be making another video soon about what I should talk about. So, sorry this was really long. I hope it was informative, and I hope the other people who are watching this enjoyed me answering the questions for people who are still considering doing an exchange. Thank you, and have a wonderful day wherever in the world you are.